Hey friends, Sam Visnick here. In this video, I want to do a quick product review. I don't do a whole lot of product reviews, but as you can imagine, there's a whole lot of gizmos and tools and so forth that is possible to utilize in the therapeutic world, in particular massage tools as well. And I use them. I use the ones that I think are really valuable, and of course, there's a lot of tools out there not really worth investing in, so I obviously won't be doing too many product reviews on that. But in this case, I was sent something really interesting, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm a fan of using cupping. Therapeutic cupping is very helpful for a number of different scenarios, not in every single type of problem that you could experience, but if you find the right tool for the right job, it can be very, very effective. So when this tool came along, and a company reached out to me called Achedaway, and they have an electronic cupper, and they said, "You want to give this a shot and let us know what you think?" I said, "Sure, I'll give it a shot. I think it sounds cool." So they sent it to me, unboxed it out, pretty simple setup here, opened it up, and here's what we get. What we get is this cup, okay, attached to a motor, which is pretty cool, and it has a lot of different functions in it. So if you've ever used cupping, you know that obviously this can come in very cheapo silicone cups. There are plastic cups that will come with a manual pump handle, and those are the ones that I have in my office as well. But most of the time when you're putting on cups, you use a slight lubricant on the skin in order to be able to move around. That's what I do anyway. I'm not a huge fan of just putting cups on and just letting them sit, and letting them hang out there for 10 minutes or whatever. It just doesn't really do that much, in my opinion. I would rather just put cups on and then slide them around and move them, or have some kind of stimulation that is actually pumping. So if you lift up on the cup and twist it and turn it and do all sorts of things, I find that to be much more effective, generally speaking. So the idea of a electronic pump was interesting to me, and that's what this tool actually does. Cool enough, it actually has 5 different settings on it. So the cup will actually pump and it'll pull the tissue up, and then depending on the setting, it'll pull and then it'll release, and then it'll pull and then it will release. So it will do that repetitively ongoing. And the standard setting here is actually 12 minutes, which is pretty cool because that's about the standard amount of time that you're going to leave cups on. So not only that, but it has an intensity meter, okay, which is cool. You can adjust the intensity up or down in case it's too sensitive, because sometimes even a light cupping application just is too sensitive on that area that you're working on. So you'll need to be able to adjust the intensity. So it does that also. And the other cool part is it has red light on it. This is not something, honestly, that I have used a whole lot of, but I know that there's a good amount of research showing that red light therapy is effective, so it combines that too. So you have cupping, you have 5 different settings, including one of them that is pulling tension and then just holding it statically, and then of course you have the intensity adjustment, and then you have red light. So you want to see how it works? It's pretty simple. So we turn it on, and when we turn it on, it automatically starts to pump. Okay, so because of the width of this, I'm not going to put it on, say, my forearm. I'm going to put it on my upper arm here. So once I stick that on there, it's going to start pulling up on the skin, and you can see that here. And then you see the red light automatically kind of turning on and getting to business too. That's with the standard setting. So when it pumps for about 1, 2, 3, and then discharges, and then does that. So it's a pretty comfortable setting here, just from the get-go, the standard setting. Now, the other cool part out of this is that you think, do I have to monitor this thing or hold it? And you actually don't. The unit itself is so light with the intensity of the pump that I could literally just stick that thing on and just kind of go about my business, okay? So I could just be working on the computer or doing something else, and it's just gonna hang out there and do its thing. So if you have a smaller arm, of course, you might have to sit there and monitor it because it might pop off. But on my upper arm here, that's the perfect amount of skin to be able to pull, and it's gonna do its magic. So that's pretty awesome. I can adjust the intensity here. I can change the mode without even taking the thing off, okay? So I thought it was pretty awesome. I tried this out. The first thing I thought is sitting at my desk and feeling any kind of mid-back achiness from hunching over a computer. So of course I turn it on, and then I just stick it on my back, and it sat there and it pumped my back for about 12 minutes. Felt pretty amazing afterwards. So it was a nice little kind of, I call it's a passive / active therapy, because it was still actually pumping and moving, and I could actually side bend and I can twist a little bit just to engage with the therapy. So that was pretty awesome. Okay, so of course you have the option, you can turn the red light if you want, you can turn it off. It's not really loud, it makes a little bit of noise, and of course my dog gets weird ears, perks up when she looks at it, she doesn't know what's going on. Fairly entertaining, but it's not loud and obnoxious or anything else like that. And after about a minute or so, it feels really good, just that pumping activity, as long as it has the right intensity, okay? And when you're done, the cool news is that once it turns off, so if the automatic timer turns off or me turning off, the suction does not just immediately let go, because the problem would be, of course, that the tool might fall on the ground and it might break. So the suction stays kind of put there, which is good. And of course it does come with this, which is a lanyard. So the lanyard is that you can tie it around something or your arm or whatever, or this arm, so that if the tool does happen to fall off, you catch it and the unit doesn't break. Okay, so that is kind of a good thing to have. So when you're done, all you do is just stick your finger underneath the skin and it's gonna pop right off. And you see that classic kind of red circle from the pump, okay? So all in all, this is a pretty cool toy. So I think it's going to be valuable in particular for that repetitive pumping activity that it does with the lots of different settings. So tried it on myself. I absolutely love it. It feels really good. And of course, there's a lot of clients that I'm going to try it on, in particular, the ones that I think are going to benefit from a more Graston or IASTM soft tissue technique release. So if any of those kind of light scraping techniques will work, or anywhere that it's indicated where I think cupping might be helpful, at least as a short-term therapeutic treatment prior to doing more massage work or exercise work, then this is definitely something where I'm going to stick that in there and test out the results. But some people ask me, well, how do you know if that's the case? Well, that's a tough question to answer. Usually clinical experience tells me when that's most helpful, but I would say that whenever there's superficial tenderness in the skin, especially over an area that's highly facilitated in muscles, where I might just kind of pinch or pull on the skin, and then I get that release activity, and then of course afterward there's an improvement in motion or reduced sensitivity in the tissues, then that is an area where I might use an IASTM technique or use cupping to the degree that it's helpful. So there's my review. If you want to get your hands on this is brand new, so it literally just came out. I think maybe the website has just gotten live, maybe within a week. So the company is called Achedaway, and I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to put a link down below the video here, so you can click on that and get access directly to the page where it is. And also I'll supply a coupon code here so that you can get a couple bucks off if you decide to purchase one. So give it a shot, take a look at it. It's called Achedaway, the electric cupper. Pretty cool tool. If you're into cupping, I think you'll really enjoy this one. So Sam Visnick here, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for another product review.